Welcome to the Viral Cash Flow Secrets Podcast, your roadmap to unlocking viral trends and maximizing online profits. Join hosts Jenny Jackson, Lorraine Kamisha, and Jessica Jospeaks Digital from the Viral Profits Academy membership for actionable strategies on leveraging digital trends. It's time to monetize your clicks.
So welcome to the Viral Cash Flow Podcast. I am here today with my co-host Lorraine Kamisha. I'm Jenny Marie, and we are super excited to have Lee Campbell of the Batty Bosch University join us today.
Hi, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for joining. So just to let you know, we are the Viral Profits Academy, where we teach entrepreneurs how to go viral and profitize their social media. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to explore the latest viral topics, and we have some good ones, along with our special guest. And then we'll hear more about the offering that she has and her journey to entrepreneurship. So thank you again, Lee, for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm excited.
All right. So Lorraine, what are we kicking off with today? We've got a few topics flowing.
Let's see. We've got so much going on. I don't know. Let's talk about some of the fringe things that are going around, kind of like the bigger issue. Let's talk about Cameron and his CNN interview. Like, I watched a little
recap. Let's recap. We'll have Lee weigh in.
You go ahead.
So our friend Cameron, Mr. Pink, right? He went on CNN. And the segment was actually by one of the Black Lady News anchors. I believe her name's Anna, if I'm not mistaken. And the topic on the screen was having him react to Diddy, right? We all saw the viral video, which we probably should talk about, that came out of Diddy abusing his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. And so Cameron came and, he provided his insight. However, throughout the interview, it became apparent that he got agitated. They continued to dig, or the host really continued to dig around, his views on Diddy and things that he really just probably didn't have topic for. And what we found out post-interview is that Cameron was actually not baited and switched. He was asked to come on and talk about Diddy, but as a businessman, he came on and he positioned his product, which is that horsepower supplement. And he also talked about his podcast with Mace, who is Diddy adjacent, right? And has history with Bad Boy. And so there's been a lot of commentary. I think I set up a Firestone on my page. There's some other folks who have said that he was rude and ghetto. However, there's this other side that says, no, he, first we thought he was bait and switched, but not only that, he was smart and he leveraged that interview to his benefit. So Lee, we're going to have you weigh in. I'm not sure if you've seen the hype, but want to hear your perspective on it.
It's so funny. I was literally channeling that interview. I was like, I'm gonna be honest with them, but I'm not gonna be Cameron. I'm not gonna do that because I think, like you said, we thought he was baited and switched, and they do that a lot, right? If you come on to a show or a podcast or something and you think you're gonna be talking about one topic, it's kind of like Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. Every time Kelly Rowland goes somewhere, they want to talk about Beyonce, and it can be frustrating. I could definitely understand that, but that wasn't the case. But he did take that opportunity to present his brand. I thought that was pretty smart, because why else would they necessarily want to bring Cameron onto CNN unless to talk about some drama, right? That they always try to put us in. So I guess he took advantage of that and he made a viral moment. So, I guess mission accomplished, right?
Check mark. All right, Lorraine, bring us home. What's your thought? What's your perspective?
I mean, I don't necessarily find an issue with him, kind of staying out of it. Like, honestly, as a viral marketer or just somebody who's growing a brand and doing the things I do online and on social media, there are some topics that I just stay away from altogether. Like, sometimes it's because I really don't, going viral many times, some of that energy coming back to you all the time, you can't help but to absorb it. So that's one thing. But in cancel culture, it's like, it don't matter what you say. Sometimes if people are looking to cancel you, it just is what it is. So, I think it was smart on his part. I just wish he could have been more strategic about it on camera is what I feel from it. I watched a small snippet of the interview. It was hard for me to kind of get through because it was just like, really? Like we gonna you know what I'm saying? So it's just, some things, I don't know, maybe media training is like what I want to see. There, we see it all the time. People get on people's platforms and, now all of a sudden we're talking about something different. And it's your job as talent or as the brand to kind of draw it back home and draw it to you. That's one of the whole reasons why we started this podcast, is to talk about, okay, how are these viral moments, how are you going to bring value back to yourself with those? So that's understandable. It's just the way he did was kind of tacky to me.
Yeah, I will close with this. There is a friend on my timeline. Her name's Tamara, and she put it very, she spelled it out. Cameron was Cameron. He was consistent. That's who he is, right? So as an executive at CNN Live, your audience is not Cameron's audience. Let's be for real. I do think, and Lorraine, I'm going back to what you said when I talked about Beyonce not talking, and you said, no, she talks to her audience. Cameron has an audience. It may not be CNN Live. However, that messaging probably reached the people that he was wanting it to reach.
Right.
So that's my final thought.
Can I make a thought? One more thing as well.
Yes, absolutely.
I follow Alex Hermosi. He's a marketer / business educator, and he talks about how the importance of going viral is not necessarily just for that immediate reaction, right? You want to go viral, but it's all the people that have seen it. Now they're thinking about Cameron. Now we're talking about Cameron. Now someone else is like, you know what? I need to get Cameron on the phone. I want to get him to be a part of my this or that. So it's like viral moment can go way beyond the initial reasoning that they may have been doing it, and can honestly provide a lot of great feedback at the end of the day, I think.
It's true. Absolutely. All right. So this has been a busy week. So we're going to let you pick the next one. We have two. And now I'm going to throw this wild card at you. So we've seen two things playing out. Diddy, right? All these stories have been coming out. We saw him completely gaslight the nation and say that folks are money hungry and coming after him. And then the video proof pops out and he comes with this apology, right? Lackluster by many. So that's one. The other is Kelly Rowland, our Black Barbie. She's been painted in the media recently as being the typical, what I call the aggressive Black woman. However, we just talked about it. She's been baited and switched a couple of times, but this most recent moment comes from her at the Cannes Festival, where she's being scooted along by security and she's tired. And she, very calmly, you can see the first time says, I'm good, back up. And then the security guard persisted. And then we caught some of the, couldn't hear it, but we could see, right, her response, nonverbal response. So where should we go, Lee? Do we want to talk about Kelly or Mr. Diddy himself?
Are we choosing one versus the other, or we're just choosing the next one?
Let's choose the next one and see how we do on time.
Okay, let's do Diddy.
You want to kick us off, Lorraine?
Sure. I would just like to point out the fact that Diddy knew that this video was out and still got online and proceeded to try to gaslight everybody and say that people just wanted his money. And if that is not a narcissist, I don't know what is.
100% with you.
Agree. When I saw that apology video, I was like,
let me watch it.
I don't know if it was just me, but I was like, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. First of all, PR 101. I wouldn't even have gone on Instagram and did that. This is way beyond Instagram. So you really need to go with your team, and y'all need to go in the war room and figure out, because it's stuff about to come down. It's stuff about to come down, and Instagram is not going to be enough to save you. Plus, the apology did not seem genuine. It seemed like, I'm sorry you saw that, not I'm sorry I did it. He was kind of making excuses for himself. Oh, I was messed up versus, I'm wrong. It was, no, this external thing is why I did that. No, there's something going on with you, but it's been going on with you probably since you got into the entertainment industry. So it's no surprise.
I don't think anyone that's close to the culture is surprised. I just don't, we've seen a lot of it play out in the media. I just think he's had, money goes a long way. Let's be for real. Folks have been covering for him. So I'm going to bring up a topic, Lorianne. A story has come out recently that Lorianne, and I remember this, Making the Band. He and Lorianne got into it on film. Michael Bivins was in the room, and toward the end of the clip, now rewatching it as somebody with a fully developed frontal lobe, is like, hang on, they were trying to corner her. And the camera's cut, and the story is now coming out that Lorianne was assaulted, which then makes sense because we heard Diddy at the BET Awards last year thank Lorianne Gibson for keeping him free or something of that nature, right? Those were kind of the words or the terminologies that he used in that speech. And I was like, Lorianne? So that tells me that there was probably some agreement behind the scenes. I'm hearing Lorianne I think she walked away maybe with the show afterwards. So it sounds like his money has been going a long way. And that happens when people are accosted and things are done to them. Sometimes money talks. A lot of times money talks. Let's be for real.
It does.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
Really don't talk no more. How about that?
Somebody said on TikTok, they were like, I find it interesting that when men go through these dark times and these emotional issues and stuff, that they never reach out and touch none of their homeboys. It's always the women and the children in their life. It's never, that sort of situation. And I was like, that seems pretty valid to me.
Like the easiest target.
Oh yeah, they definitely go for the easy targets. But as to his conversation on the apology, like I agree with you. Like it was very, everything outside of him was to blame. My tough time, what I was going through at the time, all those things had everything to do with it, but not him just making the mistake. It was not him.
Yeah. And we saw Desi, comedian who was an Instagram comedian, catch some backlash for doing a mock skit. I guess folks are saying this too soon. Not a huge fan of his comedic style and just some of the things he said online before, but I actually did find it humorous. And he was insinuating that Diddy was insincere. We saw Charlamagne give Diddy the donkey of the day, but it really just didn't resonate. It did not connect. So,
right.
All right, final take. Let's take 30 seconds. Let's talk about our good friend, Miss Kelly Rowland. Lorraine, I'm going to ask you to kick us off on the video I saw you posted on your page earlier.
I don't have that video with me.
Okay. So we just did a quick recap. Again, we saw Kelly, kind of get into an exchange. We asked our lip readers what we thought that she said or what they thought that she said. And essentially she sold security, like, don't talk to me like that. Right. And we saw the finger going. And again, there's some stereotypes out there around Black women when they get upset. But at the end of the day, Kelly's very unproblematic. And everyone has their moments. They have their triggers.
They sure do. I'm surprised they're using this moment to say, oh, Black women are so angry. It's like, really? Kelly's probably the chillest, entertainer that you can find.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't really get that feel of this time, which was kind of surprising to me, of like, oh, Black women are angry. I really didn't. Everything that I saw that was talking about the situation said something like slight, small altercation. Like it kind of shifted a bit, which is always interesting to me because I'm paying attention to the language and I'm paying attention to the copy and stuff like that. I didn't really get that from this.
Yeah, it just makes me question motives. And again, I agree with you. I didn't see a whole lot of terminology about her being aggressive, but that's immediately what came to my mind, because then we also heard a few months ago she walked off set, right, at another event, or really a media, I believe, interview. And again, some of the rumors were that, she was asked about Beyonce. She got upset. She got the smaller dressing room. But it's like, why are all these stories coming out now? This young lady's been in entertainment for 20 plus years. We've never seen this side before.
Right. Do you think maybe social media itself is the reason why we see, like, if this happened 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been on TikTok, Right. So now we see it and things are shared so quickly and conversations are started. Do you think that has to do with it?
Exposure.
Definitely. It definitely does, because, I remember, I've always been a fan of Beyonce, and I just used to look at how she kind of carried herself as far as not responding. And just how you deal with the media, because that is a thing. Like if you're going to be on social media or you're going to be a star or whatever, mode that is, there's a certain, it's hard to explain. There's certain energy that you're going to have to be dealing with all the time. Right. And I believe that the climate back when Beyonce first started and the climate today in 2024, when it comes to the media, are two different like situations. Mm-hmm. Like you literally have to put on the armor of the Holy Spirit. To pick up some, you got to put on the armor of everything to deal with how this stuff is playing out. Like some of these things that we have conversations about, I really don't even think that these celebrities at this point really even pay any attention to. Like they can't. They can't. Just like I said, just with the little bit amount of followers and stuff that I have, I be wore out. There'll be times where I don't even look at stuff for weeks at a time because it's just so exhausting. So I can't imagine being at that level and having that type of money and that type of fame that they would even really be kind of paying attention to this at all. They like their people's people is probably doing it at this point.
Exactly.
Got to get out the comments. And if you're anything like some of us, you got to disassociate sometimes.
All the
time.
Can't
respond to everything, right? Exactly. Some people feed the dragon and it's like, girl, please stop. Just like stop.
You're playing with fire when you do that. When it's just growing, and you're like, oh, you're just starting to get a little attention, you just start to go viral and you're getting good at it. Because a lot of people try to say that going viral is luck. I'm telling you, it's not. Okay. Mm-hmm. You can literally predict and you can plan and you can do this stuff. So when you start going viral multiple times or over and over and over again, and you've already dug yourself in that hole where you're all in the comments, you're combative, you're going back and forth. It's like fighting hundreds of thousands and millions of people all at the same time. That takes a toll on your mental. It takes a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your spirit. It takes a toll on you. So I don't stay away from that.
Stay out the comments.
Now, yeah, like train yourself now to not even let it bother you. And I'm not saying you're gonna be perfect, because there are times where people say something sideways. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got time today. But, it's very rare, and it's not because I don't feel some type of way all the time when people say something. It's that I already know the toll and the energy costs that it costs.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Energy costs. That's good.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. That's a perfect segue. So we again have Lee Campbell, the founder of the Batty Boss University. So Lee, take a couple of minutes. Tell us about yourself and your Batty Boss University and how it came to where you are today.
Thank you. So I've been a business consultant for the past 5 years. Prior to that, I worked in the corporate world for Fortune 500 companies in their sales and marketing departments, creating initiatives for them, actually award-winning salesperson. And I learned so much in my years of working there that I started to assist my family and friends with them starting their own businesses. And so when I was thinking about venturing out on my own and creating something, a mentor actually said, hey, I think you like helping people with their business. And I had called him about something totally different. I'm like, no, I don't, I can't. And then I'm like, I can't help anybody with a business. I don't have my own business. And he's like, he's just spoken to me. And then I went home and I prayed about it. And I said, God, if this is what you want me to do, I'll do it. And I've been doing it for 5 years. And I've helped, thousands of baddie bosses start their own businesses. We help with coaching, with marketing, with hiring. So, that's Baddie Boss University.
Beautiful. And how long have you been in business?
5 years.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
So who's your, your core audience? I can make an assumption, but tell us more about your core audience and who they are.
My core audience would be a new business owner, typically women. I would 100% say women, minority women who've been in business literally between 1 and 4 years is typically my target audience.
And are these small businesses, solopreneurs, like
a little bit of both? We have entrepreneurs who have larger companies, but then the solopreneur. My goal and my philosophy is really to get solopreneurs to start thinking about bringing on a team and collaboration with others, because that is, to me, the key to growth as a business is to bring other people into your empire.
That's beautiful, beautiful. Any follow-up questions, Lorraine?
Yeah. So what made you want to get into the line of work other than, somebody told you that that's what you should be doing? Do you always know you're going to have a business, or is this something that just kind of came about?
That's a good question. I've actually been, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 7. That was my first introduction into making my own money. It was Mother's Day, and someone came to my daycare. This is how young I was, and they were selling gift baskets for Mother's Day. And so I just went around and showed all my teachers, like, I like this. And one of them bought one. So I told the lady selling them, she actually gave me $1, which was like $100 bill to me at 7 years old. And I was like, wait, I can make my own money, From there, I started selling candy in school. I started selling T-shirts. I always say my brand name, people always think when they see baddie balls, like, oh, you're a baddie, you're cute, you're pretty. And it was like, no, I was literally the bad kid in school because I was always like trying to make money. I was always selling candy. I was like, why we keep learning about Benjamin Franklin? I'm trying to get some Benjamin Franklins in my pocket. And so just that love of entrepreneurship and love of independence, that was the true inspiration behind me wanting to give others that.
So I know you're online a lot, and that's how I found you and how we connected. What's your favorite trend that's happening right now in the social media space?
My favorite trend, are we talking about like a particular platform, or
it can be platform specific? Yeah.
Okay.
So I know I find you on Facebook a lot. I call it the suburbs. That's where I hang out, right? But we see different trends resonate on different platforms. But is there one that's just kind of top of mind that's happening for you right now?
I love, so before I was on Facebook, actually, I was a huge fan of Instagram. I thought Instagram was just a filter. I didn't know it was a social media site that other people could see what I was posting.
Wow.
So I started on Instagram, and I loved Instagram. And then my mentor was like, hey, you should get on Facebook and into these Facebook groups, because that's where your target audience is. So I really love the Facebook groups, because I feel like as a business owner, it's a place to observe my target audience. It's a place to research and listen and hear the type of products and services that they're looking for. It's just a huge feedback loop. And so I really love the Facebook groups as far as a business owner. You
just spoke to the innovator in me. Yes, listen to your customers. They will tell you exactly what they want when you listen. They really will. And I think groups like the Facebook groups, they're information rich. They really are, because you can get those deep insights.
Yes.
All right, Lorraine, I'm gonna ask you a loaded question because I already know the answer. What's your favorite TikTok trend right now?
I think right now, for strategies wise, I guess, would be the one that they're doing with the pay off your debt. Because it's just as somebody who's a marketer, it's like so intriguing to me to just, for me, it's all numbers. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people are like, I'm just going to post it and I'm going to see what happens. And to me, I'm over there like, looking at the analytics and seeing if I tweak this or if I do that, and then what happens. So that's been kind of fun for me here lately. That's my favorite trend so far.
Can you tell me what that is? Oh, sorry.
No, you took the words out of my mouth.
So on TikTok right now, there's a trend that is happening, and it's for those who are in the creator program, or it's called the creator program, right? They've changed it, so I'm horrible at names, but they've changed it a couple times. But basically, you get paid for views, and you have to have 10,000 followers to be in the program. So what people are doing is, if they're already in the program, they are putting out a video over a minute long and asking that their audience and people who are finding them on the FYP or the For You page to view their video for 5 seconds or more, like, share, and then leave a comment, because it boosts their views and therefore pays them more money. So it's like, coming together as a community to watch each other's content so that they all get paid enough so that they can pay off their debt.
Oh, that's dope.
Viral trend. Yeah.
Is that what you meant when you asked me what type of trend, like what's happening?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and I know TikTok's a little different, right? Because they're known for these quote unquote trends, but I think they resonate against platforms. The trends that we see on TikTok, we're just not going to see on LinkedIn and some of these other places, right?
So I love that one. It's like, do you love me? Do you know that trend?
Oh yes, my daughter is killing it. Yes, that's it.
And the Beyonce one. I love the Beyonce one.
I tried, girl. My knees and my back don't operate like that. I was like, I'm gonna do that. That's a little, that's only like a 16 count. I could get that, girl. I tried to get down in that first little bounce on it.
My client was doing it and her wig fell off. I don't know if she meant to do that, but she recorded it and it was so funny.
That's the best content, right? I'm sure she entertained her audience.
She did.
So we're about 2 minutes out from the top of the hour. Lee, we are just so happy that you joined us today. Any final thoughts about any of the topics we talked about or any parting words of wisdom for our audience?
Well, I just want to congratulate you all on this amazing show. This show is going to go viral. Okay. If both of you all are doing it, I know it's going to be amazing. And I truly thank you all so much for having me on. I appreciate that a lot.
Beautiful. And where can we find you online, Lee?
You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at Batty Boss University.
There we go. Beautiful. Well, any final thoughts, Lorraine, before we wrap up?
No, just thank you for watching and thank you so much, Lee, for joining us. We really enjoyed you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So thank you for tuning in to our Viral Cash Flow podcast. Again, Lee, thanks for joining us. Guys, remember to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. We're on YouTube live streaming each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We are also posting the recap and video snippets on our relevant social media pages. Keep riding the wave, turning your clicks into cash, and we hope to see you next week here at the Viral Cash Flow podcast. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Bye-bye.